everyone. So Module 2 response. First question was how my perceptions of what I think society needs in regards to music education. I think we need to vary our repertoire, and I think we need to get enrollment up in music courses across at least the country, if not the globe at this point. Enrollment numbers have been steadily decreasing over the past couple decades, and I think that needs to stop. We need to figure out how to get a more diverse population to enroll in music courses and to keep our numbers at least from decreasing just from primary school to secondary school, because it's the main focus is we're losing numbers as students move up to the secondary schools. And I know a lot of the people, a lot of the content mention that our, repertoire is not varied enough. And I think that kind of just puts a little pressure on the music educator. So it kind of leads into the next question of how responsive music educators should be with regard to the societal needs. I think we need to take it pretty seriously. As long as numbers still are in decline, the number of music teachers are going to be in decline. If there's no more kids who want to take music, there's no need for us. So I think we need to kind of be on the forefront of that, and getting our numbers up will help, increase our job security. Which that's the ultimate goal is, yeah, obviously we're teachers, we want to work for our students, but it's our job nonetheless, and we need to make sure that we're going to have one in, for years to come. To help that, I know a lot of the Lucy Green especially mentions that it's based upon content and strategies, and I think that's a huge thing. I think she sums it up pretty much right there. We need to better our content, our curriculum needs to change and be varied, and we need to have different strategies for how we teach that curriculum in our music courses or ensembles. So we need to make sure that students are engaged in music and repertoire that they like. So the other site or the other content piece, I think it was Future of Music Education and the Lucy Green article actually too, mentioned that you need to increase your pop music. And I had a professor in college who, the sugar of the repertoire. But you do need to sprinkle the sugar on the repertoire, because students like playing that. Everyone likes playing something that they enjoy or that they know, that they're familiar with. So they're going to lean towards that. So you need to at least provide them with something in order to get them to play something that's maybe not as fun, or more educational as far as, standard traditional music repertoire. Let's see. What else did I have here? Third question was how Module 2 aligns with the way I teach. I teach more of large ensemble, traditional style. I'm at the podium. I'm teaching my students, more technical skills as far as musicality and musicality along the way. But I try to vary it as much as possible. Like this year we played Uptown Funk, which the kids loved because they were, able to sing along. And of course I had a couple guys sing along while we were playing it. We played pep tunes, so Another One Bites the Dust, a bunch of different things that they'd heard. We Are the Champions. So they loved playing those, but then it was easy to sneak a ballad in there, like Holsinger's A Childhood Hymn, without them caring too much. I also found a piece that I played that I student taught with at East Aurora called Baba Yetu, and it worked perfectly for my students because I do teach in a Catholic school, and the Baba Yetu is based off of Swahili translation of the Lord's Prayer. So it included djembes, which students have never seen or used before, shakers, a ton of percussion instruments that students love to hear play. The rhythms were a little challenging and different because it was based on African rhythms, so it brought some culture in, and they loved it. So, I mean, that's just something that I found, and it was with collaboration with my other peers and colleagues, which I think is super important for what we're doing. I also want to throw out that I created a field trip to Eastman this past week and worked with with Mark Scatterday there, the director of wind ensembles, and he mentioned playing music backwards and playing music upside down to keep rehearsals varied. And it was just something that my students loved and that I took away saying like, wow, why didn't I think of that? That's something that you literally just turn your page over, you just read it backwards, and students are like just so focused on trying to do this new concept for you that it's like, why don't we do this every day? So it's just coming up with those different strategies that are going to keep kids engaged, and you know maybe keep the enrollment up that way. Um, I plan to use that as far as refining my teaching. I plan to use a lot of those techniques that Mr. Scatterday mentioned at the Eastman field trip. It was as much a learning experience for the kids as it was for me being a newer teacher. I learned a ton of how to teach, and when tune one instrument and then 10 minutes later tune a different instrument, so that everyone thinks that and believes that tuning is solely on them, at any moment you can call on them to be tuned. It just instills a little more importance in each of your students, which I took away as being really cool. And a question regarding deeper reflection. As far as getting people to enroll later in secondary education, I know Phil Agulia gets a lot of students to turn up in 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. How can other schools do that? What is he doing that is getting students to let their guard down, come down to the band room, to the chorus room, start singing, start playing a different instrument that they never played before? And where can we find time or find ways to make time for those students who are just starting out, who maybe need a little more practice with and one-on-one, especially when we don't have time in the classroom for it? So, thanks.